2025 is the year that you build some mental toughness and you get up and you move and you take some action. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have some goals on your vision board or daily tasks that you need to get done, I need you to get up and stop looking for somebody to pull you. I need you to get up and stop looking for somebody to do it with you. I need you to get up and stop relying on other people to motivate you or love you more than you love yourself. Because as a coach, it's not what you do with me, it's what you do when I'm not there. As much as I'd like to provide you with 100 of my non-negotiables for 2025, because this is the year. When I say this is going to be my year, I'm literally declaring that in boldness, in faith, in trust, knowing that it's going to be my year. I need you to say that with the same kind of energy, because many people started 2025 off. This is going to be my year. I'm going to share with you 5 of my non-negotiables following up from part 1. This is part 2 of another 5 non-negotiables. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and welcome back to all of my sisters and brothers that have just joined me on this glow and growth journey. Listen, number 6, we're hopping into it straight away. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already subscribed, because I know you're going to love it here. We're always growing. That's one thing about me. I'm always looking to evolve mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. I'll tell it, all of that. All of it. Listen, number 6, complain less and prompt motion. How many of you guys can really sit down and reflect? Maybe you have a tendency to complain a lot and procrastinate. And then you have some people in your life that the minute they say that they're going to do something, they're up and at it. Doesn't matter what kind of obstacles or situations come their way, they're up and at it. You have to change your perspective. You have to build a strong mindset. And that is one thing that I have learned to do and become, is to build a strong mindset and to be very proactive. There is a solution to all of your problems, to all of your concerns, to all of your uncertainty. Whether you have the answer right now, you are going to find that answer some way, somehow. It's going to show up in your path. And listen, I need you to take action right now, because complaining about something is not going to get you to your goals. Complaining about your weight is not going to bring you to your weight loss goals or to your dream body. Complaining and constantly complaining and doing absolutely nothing is just going to have you repeating the same cycle, constantly complaining. And don't you get tired of just hearing yourself complain about the toxic relationships you keep entertaining, the toxic people in your life that have no goals or ambition, the job that you don't enjoy going to? When God put you on this earth, He put you on here for a purpose, for you to actually live out your life and create your life. You actually have this opportunity right now to choose your happiness and nothing less. So your happiness should be a non-negotiable. Figuring how to go after it, whatever you got to do, should be a non-negotiable. And guess what? It's going to take work. It's going to take effort. When we sometimes think about the effort that has to go into making the next step or the next decision, I get it. We want to procrastinate. But then you end up complaining because you don't have your goals in front of you. You don't have your dream life in front of you. You don't have your desired relationships in front of you. So are you going to continue sitting in your shit, or are you going to change it and prompt some action? Listen, if you don't like something in 2025, you need to come up with a game plan, at least some action, at least some baby steps that are going to help you get to the bigger picture. And stop complaining. Because if I was your therapist and all I hear is da 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 da, like, you're either gonna go for it or you're not. And trust me, our road, our journey is not supposed to be perfect. But if you're doing absolutely nothing to learn and to grow and to actually learn from your experiences, because how many of you guys are putting yourself back into the same patterns, into the same toxic cycles that have you questioning your life and your purpose? There have been many times in my life where I kept choosing the same kind of shitty ass men. and complaining about how terribly they would be treating me. Or I would go on dates, or I would insert myself into situationships and complain about the disrespect, complain about the lack of value that those men treated me with. But I kept putting myself in those situations, right? How much longer are you going to continue to put yourself in situations that don't make you happy, that don't add to your growth? And so 2025 is the year where if it's not making you happy, it's got to go, because your happiness should be a non negotiable. Complaining doesn't make you happy. Finding a solution and being proactive is going to add to your happiness, period. Listen, when you take action instead of focusing on the problem, you end up creating a solution and you move forward. And soon enough, it's going to be 2026, 2027. I don't need you repeating any cycles, especially toxic cycles that are holding you captive in who you could possibly become in 2025. I'm telling you, you're standing in your own way. Constantly complaining about something and sitting in it, you literally have the control to move forward or to keep yourself stuck. So when you feel like you are complaining or you want to complain, I need you to replace it with some positive affirmations. Honestly, you have to reassure yourself as many times as possible that you are just meant for greater. In 2024, when I took my journey, or I started my journey building my relationship with God, I read that word. I read scriptures. I may not be able to remember all of the scriptures, but some scriptures have stuck with me to know that anytime I doubt myself or I find myself in uncertainty, that when I go back to reflecting over God's word, He reassures me that when He created me, He made no mistakes in what was planned in my path for me to have the best life. No matter the obstacles or the challenges, I am here to have an abundant, fruitful, and amazing life here on earth, as it's just rented time. When I've prompted myself with this positive reassurance, I know I need to act. Proactively take some steps towards moving forward rather than sitting in the emotion, the toxic feelings that aren't actually going to push me forward. 2025 is not the year of procrastination. 2025 is the year that you build some mental toughness and you get up and you move and you take some action. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have some goals on your vision board, or you have some goals or daily tasks that you need to get done, I need you to get up and stop looking for somebody to pull you. I need you to get up and stop looking for somebody to do it with you. I need you to get up and stop relying on other people to motivate you or love you more than you love yourself. Because as a coach, it's not what you do with me, it's what you do when I'm not there. Hold yourself accountable and stand up for the life that you want. Stand on business. I'm going to keep saying that in 2025, because listen, as this world is so filled with uncertainty, I need you to know that God did not put you on this earth to be consumed and swallowed up based on what you see on the media or in the news or what's going on around you. You are here for greatness. You got to find your greatness through the obstacles, through the battles. Stand up like a damn soldier. And I need you to go after your goals. How do I even carry on after number 6? That was just so heated. If you have not already liked this video, give this one a thumbs up, because I'm coming with a word. Number 7 is going to be making time for the things that I may have said I don't have time for. And listen, I'm coming for a lot of you when I say this, because as a coach, I hear, oh, I don't have time. You don't have 5 minutes to do one small thing that could add to yourself. You don't have 5 minutes or 2 minutes to make yourself a protein shake so that you at least get your protein intake up. You don't have 5 minutes, but you don't miss a beat on TikTok or Instagram. And that's one thing I'm going to remind you guys about in 2025. Look, we are all consumed by these devices, these laptops, these gadgets, everything that just has your attention aside from pursuing your goals. Listen, it's time to get uncomfortable, and it's time to exhaust yourself as you work towards your goal. Not mentally exhaust yourself as you scroll and watch everybody else live out their dreams or their life or their fake life. I need you to take accountability for your time and how you use it. You can prioritize the things that you need to get done, the people that you need to see, the relationships that you continue to pour into. Listen, I don't talk to my friends all the time. I don't even talk to them every week, right? But knowing that I've removed myself from certain platforms so that I could take my time back and my attention as well. So occasionally I will remind myself, let me just check in on this friend, let me check in on that friend. If I see a phone call coming in, and even if I don't want to answer it, I'll just answer it because my friends are calling to check up on me. So I need to give them that same respect and just do the same honor of checking up on them as well, because they've always been there for me. I got quality people in my life. Take care of the people of quality in your life. Prioritize those relationships before even opening up space for new ones. That's one thing I'm gonna say. Prioritize the relationships that are currently in your life, those good ones, those ones of quality. Prioritize those ones and make time for them. Maybe you're in a season of doing new things. Maybe you're going to new fitness classes, or you're eating differently, so you don't want to always be out partying or drinking your nights away. Encourage your circle to do something new. Find a new activity that you can invite them to. You don't always have to do the same thing. You know what I mean? You can switch things up as you're growing. And if they're not in alignment, then it's time to find a new friend group or just build your own. You have 24 hours in a day. It's time to stop making excuses for why you have no time to prioritize your goals, to prioritize God, to prioritize people, to prioritize drinking water, to prioritize stretching. A lot of people are looking for quick fixes. How do I lose weight? Or how do I feel flexible? How do I feel confident? How do I feel good about myself? Well, if you're just caught up in this, how the heck do you think that you're going to be feeling like you're your best self? You're becoming the woman or the man of your dreams if you are caught up in the news or anything that's like digital. Honey, take a look in the mirror. You live with yourself. You're going to live with yourself for the rest of your life. So it's time to prioritize yourself and making yourself the focus, making yourself happy, because everybody else is going to come in and leave. Everyone has to leave one day. I need you to make this life the best life you could have possibly created for yourself. And sitting on your phone, doing this all day or for an hour or even 30 minutes, more than 10 minutes, what did you learn? What did you discover about yourself? What did you invest? Were you drinking water, or are you just drinking this juice or all these matcha lattes? Yes, I'm coming for you, even though I'm wearing a beautiful color. Make time for the things that matter to you and the things that are actually going to change your life. Make time for the things that are actually going to change your life and stop wasting your time on garbage. That is one thing that I keep telling myself this year, is to make time for the things that add to me, that fill my cup. And I've got a lot on my hands. I've got a lot to do. So as I've been reminding myself about making time for the things and the people in my life in 2025, I've just found so much more energy, so much more reason, so much more, I've just found so much more purpose in my day-to-day living and how I feel about myself and how I show up. I really am so excited to wake up in the morning and get out of bed and see what I can do within that day and accomplish and conquer. I'm way more excited now because I have things to do. I have people to see. I have people to pour into. I'm finding my purpose as I'm seeking more of myself. What do I want? And you're going to find yourself, when you put yourself outside of your comfort zone, doing those hobbies, doing things that you said you always wanted to do, instead of sitting in that bed or sitting just scrolling, wasting your time. Go and do all of the things that you said that you wanted to do. Even if it's taking a walk, go and take that walk by yourself. It's going to change your life. That first step that you make is going to change your life. Number 8 is going to be being grateful for where I currently am and what I have right now, while also being patient with where God is taking me. Being grateful should be a non-negotiable in 2025. The world is forever changing. We are coming across so much where we feel in lack of, or we feel behind. We feel like, I just turned 30. I need to be married. I need to have kids. I need to do this. I need to do that. And honestly, as I learn more about myself and sit in my intentional morning routine, doing my devotional, talking with God, writing in my gratitude book, I realize I lack nothing. I have absolutely everything I could have dreamt of, because years ago, where I am right now was probably a dream. And where I'm dreaming to go, where I desire to go, and the plans that God has for me that I seek and desire to see come to fruition, I know that he has something greater for me in every day as I pursue him and as I pursue being intentional in my life. But it starts with gratitude. It starts with knowing that you have enough to get things going, to get things moving, to start showing up. You have enough. Look, a lot of people are asking me still, what are you using to film for YouTube? Honey, we are still on the phone. I have a camera. I should have never bought a camera, but I did, thinking that I was going to use it, and it's taken up dust, and I honestly should learn how to use it. But listen, you have enough. Everyone's like, oh, how do you build your business? Work on yourself so that people actually like you, and you know how to talk with people. You know how to connect with people and hear them, and actually hear them and understand what they need. You have to be grateful for where you currently are, even if it's a hard season. I thank God for all the obstacles that also led to redirections in my life. Redirections that in that moment I was like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? But now when I look back, even months after looking back, I can see that I needed God to save me. Many of those redirections where you're like, oh, I was begging, I was weak, I was uncertain, I was insecure, I was anxious, I was depressed, I was crying my nights away, I was self-sabotaging myself. Many of those months or seasons that we were in, when you look back now and you see where you are in a healthier, healed place, that new version of yourself, it was worth going through the obstacle to become, for God to actually strengthen your character to who you are today. For what little you had before to what you have now, it was necessary to go through those rough seasons, those hardships, for you to be built and appreciative of where you are today, right? When you grow up with nothing, you learn not to waste food, but that doesn't mean that I have to eat it in one sitting. Let me be clear about that, because no, if I'm full, I'm gonna put it in a takeaway container. But when you are grateful and you're practicing gratitude often, this is going to allow more peace, more abundance, more clarity, more calmness, and soft energy in general to radiate through your life, right? When you are operating out of survival or lack, you do not attract anything that is abundant. You don't attract anything out of love. You actually attract the opposite, which is desperation. And what happens when you're desperate? You get the bottom of the barrel, the crumbs, the things that people actually don't want. That's what you get. And you also settle for the breadcrumbs because you were impatient, right? How many times have we done that? I know I've done that. So I need you to reflect. I need you to sit right now. I want you to reflect over 3 things that have truly changed your life, right? That you never knew that would change your life. Listen, take those moments to reflect over those 3 things that you could be grateful for. And that's why I love the gratitude journal, because it gives you those prompts to do every single morning and at night. And to be honest, I never really do the nighttime prompts. I just do the morning because it's in my morning routine to do the gratitude journal then. But take some time to just reflect over 3 things that have truly changed your life. That is not materialistic, but truly changed your life internally and externally. A lot of those obstacles I needed to shape my life for me to even open up my business. Had I not gone through a lot of those experiences, had I not gone through some past relationships, I would have never been intrigued into learning about fitness, which led me to becoming a personal trainer, which led me to becoming an Olympian bodybuilder, which led me to YouTube. There's so many things in my journey that has led me here. It's all about changing your perspective. And when you change your perspective, that is when you hold the power to transforming your life. Ponder on this for the rest of the day. Each season that you're going through has its purpose. Each season has a purpose. Keep your vision strong. Keep your mind clear. Stay focused. That is so important. Each season has its purpose. Seek clarity. Seek direction. Trust me, you will change your life. Come back to this video at the end of 2025. All right. Take me with you because we're going to be on a really good ride. Number 9 is going to be dressing well, articulating my thoughts and emotions, and carrying myself like my higher self. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, I have been struggling just a little bit, especially with my wardrobe. I'm trying to detach from my wardrobe because I know there are certain items that were of the old Shen, and the new Shen is looking to dress as my higher self, show up as my higher self. And all these changes are going to take time. It just requires you to be very patient and intentional. I need you to reflect. So, just as I reflect, I want you to reflect on what I'm about to say. How you present yourself is truly going to impact on how you feel about yourself. And in 2025, if you want to become your higher self, whether you're trying to become the woman of your dreams or the man of your dreams, I need you to really get a clear picture of who that is, who that version of that person is. And you have to make your decisions and actions around who you want to become. So when I'm looking for my clothing pieces now, I got to be very mindful of, is this who my higher self wants to dress like? And that right there is going to provide enough clarity for me to decide if I'm getting it or not. Trust me, it has. When you dress with intention, or when you carry yourself with intention, even down to expressing your thoughts and your emotions, this is going to add to that confidence boost of feeling really secure about yourself. And it's so important in this world to be very self assured, to really know yourself and have a relationship with yourself. That way, you aren't strayed any kind of way. That way, you don't allow people to disrespect you or devalue you or treat you like you're second. If you want to be the most memorable, the most attractive version of yourself, then everything you do from here on out needs to reflect who you want to be and how you want to feel, and the aura you also want to give off. The aura you want to give off. So I really want you to think about that, because that is something I have been thinking about. You know what? And I'm not dimming my light in 2025 for anyone. We're going to get there. So a few things that I'm doing in 2025 is just wearing clothing that empowers me and aligns with my higher self. Also practicing how I articulate my thoughts clearly in conversation, whether it's at work or in relationships or even with myself. Navigating self-awareness and emotional intelligence should be a non-negotiable in 2025 if you really want to become closer to your higher self. And navigate through challenges gracefully. Number 10, I think this is my favorite one, but honestly, I feel like all 10 were amazing. Number 10, making decisions that my higher self is going to benefit from and be proud of. Let me repeat that. We are in 2025, we are making decisions, intentional decisions that our higher self would benefit from and be proud of. What you do today in this very minute, in every minute throughout your day, is going to add or take away from your future self and who you want to become or who you could become. There are so many people out here wasting their life, wasting their potential because of addictions, because of procrastination, because of limiting beliefs, because of mental blockage, because of who they're surrounded by. I say all of this because I've been there. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and I'm in my purpose, I'm rooted, and I have everything going on for me right now. No, I'm saying that I know I'm meant for greatness, and I need to become aware of anything that doesn't serve me on the day to day, because it's not every day that I wake up wanting to film. It's not every day that I want to wake up and talk to my clients and show up for them, but I do regardless because that is my job. But not only because it's my job, but it fills me up. On days where I don't feel my greatest, but I pour into other people, oh, that will change the mood real quick. And I love that, but it's not every single day that I wake up with the best attitude where I want to be productive and I'm not always motivated. Sometimes I want to skip the gym, but I know I'm not going to be able to build this body if I don't go. I don't always want to eat healthy, but hello, I'm a product of what I sell. I'm a product of what comes out of my mouth. So I love working on myself. And even if I do the bare minimum that day, it's still going to add to who I know I can possibly become. But if you revert back to those old habits and you don't do anything, not even 5 minutes of something, not even the bare minimum of something, then nothing changes. Nothing moves. And then you end up feeling like you're not meant for greatness. And I need you to know that you're meant for greatness. And listen, greatness requires your effort. It requires your mental discipline that needs to be built on the days you don't feel like showing up. Stop looking for motivation. Stop looking for all the videos of everyone telling you what to do and start doing it. Act as though you are the YouTuber that is creating your life. Because that's kind of what I did even before I got on YouTube. When I think about it, I was like, oh, my favorite YouTuber said that they like to do this in the morning. So how about I try this for a week and then find my own rhythm and flow? Once you put your own spin to it and you make it a part of your routine, watch that transform your life. Everyone is going to Pilates, but maybe that's not your thing, because honestly, that's not my thing. That's not how I built my body. It's going to be a thing that I would just do occasionally, but that's not my main thing. Just because somebody else likes this one thing does not mean that it's meant for you. So in this world, stop trying to be like everybody else and go and find what makes you come alive, what makes you happy. Start doing things that bring you value, that make you feel good, and stop trying to do what everyone else is doing. That doesn't mean don't try these things out. That just means try it once. And if you don't feel that urge to do it again, then find something else. If Pilates wasn't your thing, go try boxing. If the gym is not your thing, then go to an F45 class. When you live intentionally and you make decisions that align with your values, this is going to lead to a fulfilling life. And at one point in time, I was living life on survival. I was making decisions based on how I was feeling, and I was looking for temporary satisfaction. I'm going to run it back because many of the women are going to relate to this one. How many times have you found yourself in situationships? After I was done secluding myself and I did work on myself, I put myself back into dating. And I really haven't talked about the dating phase on this channel. I don't think I talked about it. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about it. But I did find myself in what I thought was a relationship, but it was a situationship. And I've had many, so don't get me wrong. It's not just one. But I kept going back to these toxic cycles of wanting greater. And I wanted something from certain guys that they didn't want. They didn't have the same goals or the same vision. And I was forcing it. And how many times are we in situationships or just situations or scenarios in general where we're forcing things from other people rather than looking at what we can give to ourselves? The decisions that we make, what we allow, what we tolerate is literally either blocking our growth or actually helping us move forward. And most times it's blocking our blessings. Many of y'all are choosing to sit in scenarios and seasons longer than you should because your mental state is weak. You need to realize when your mental state needs to be built. And sometimes you have to do, and most times, and that mental push is going to require you to take the action of being vulnerable and uncomfortable a little bit, to not be giving in to temporary satisfaction just because you're afraid of being lonely. If you want to see yourself in 2025, you need to be making intentional decisions that only add to you. I'm going to relate this all back to this emotional strength that you need to have. Listen, ladies, especially my ladies, you need to get really strong with standing on business, especially when you're emotionally not doing so well. Because when you're not emotionally doing so well, this is when you don't feel like going to the gym. This is when you feel like just cuddling up on your couch and binge watching all these reality shows that are of drama, so it distracts you from your problems. And then little do you know it, you're binge eating as well. You get into a toxic habit of ordering up a bunch of takeout and spirals throughout the week. And then once you start to add to that bacteria, it only makes you crave more bad food. And then before you know it, at the end of the week, you're hating yourself and you're disliking your choices because you allowed your emotional state to win. And in 2025, you cannot allow your emotional state to win any longer. If you don't like something in your life, I need you to get up and not let that hinder your growth. You need to get up and stand on your business. And if you're not feeling great, honey, go and and do a workout class. Go and find better coping mechanisms and make better choices that are going to add to you. So I need you to sit in your season and ask yourself and really reflect on this question. Would my higher self be proud of this choice? Would my higher self be proud of this choice? And as you move through 2025, I need you to reflect on that questions and my personal 10 non-negotiables. Listen, those were all up to me. I feel like as I work on myself, my standards just get higher and higher. And I don't think there's anything wrong with having standards because not everybody can meet them. Not everybody is here to meet your standards and exceed your expectations. But it's really important that you are able to meet your own standards and your own expectations because a lot of people, including my old self, I was looking for a lot of what I'm looking for from other people. I wasn't getting from myself and I was looking for it in other people and they were disappointing me. Meanwhile, I was the one disappointing myself. Hold yourself accountable because I'm telling you, when you start to hold yourself accountable to, girl, you didn't even show up for yourself. Why are you mad at that boy? Why are you mad at your friend for disappointing you or canceling on you when you continue to cancel on yourself, to disrespect yourself with how you talk to yourself, with how you feel about yourself? You got one life to live. You got one body. You got to make those choices where you're only choosing happiness in 2025. If you're rocking with me, drop some hearts down below. I love you guys. I love talking to you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed my 10 non-negotiables. I want to continue to hear what are your non-negotiables down below because we're not letting people play with us and we're not playing with ourselves. No, not in 2025. You're going to go for everything that God has for you. And the only way to get it is to get out of your comfort zone. Let's continue to glow, grow, and choose our happiness.